I've decided to change up how I want to make this video. Usually it would just be the footage that I would have made. I just leave the audio in, that's what I mean. But this time I'm not doing that because there are quite a few things that I wanted to talk about, one, and two, it was just the neighbours just talking. I didn't really say much. You're going to see me hold up my PE book that I had, and I want to talk about what I was reading in particular, which is another one of the main reasons why I actually wanted to do a voiceover rather than just leaving the audio from the original clip as is and uploading this video that way. So here goes. I purposely wanted to have that book around because I saw the topic of fitness in the book maybe a couple of days before, maybe a day or two before, and I apologize for the fly. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'll let it go now. Anyway, I read about the components of fitness because it was something that I was wanting to improve on. So I saw it in the index. That's why I searched for it, because I was looking for more information on fitness. And then I decided to go to the components of fitness part because I thought that that's what I was looking for. I thought they would help. I thought going there would help me rather than just going to the page that spoke about fitness as a whole. So I did just that, and it was exactly what I was looking for. Way more than what I was looking for, I'd say, actually, because it's been so helpful. We've got so much more information in my mind about the aspects of fitness than I once did because I've purposely searched for it. And I always, from this point onward, would like to have some source of information around me, like the PE book or my level 3 personal training manual, and eventually my level 4 book or books when I get it or them, depending on how they give it to me. I don't know how that one will work, but yeah, I'd like some form of information around me, and that's actually why I made the thumbnail what it is. In my right hand, I've got the PE book in the thumbnail, and in my left hand, I've got a pen and paper. Now, this is information not in the same way as the book, but I consider it very important because that is basically my brain throughout the day. It's what I want to do, and on the piece of paper, although it's blank, what I'd use those sorts of not so long pieces of paper for, I'd use them for planning out the day. I've explained how I got them, or how I got to making them in the past, but I'll explain again. Very, very basically, my courses, the level 2 one I've already passed and the level 3 one I'm on my way to passing now, come with flashcards, and I printed them all out on paper. But the flashcards couldn't all fit on the they didn't take all of the space up of an A4 piece of paper, so I cut around I cut the flashcards out from the A4 pieces of paper and was left with many thin pieces of paper, or many not so long pieces of paper. And I decided to keep them because I thought they'd help me out. And I thought that I could use them for plans, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been that, and maybe I know I've been wanting to learn how to draw things, particularly learn how to do anatomy diagrams, because I thought that'd help me with the learning process, learning about anatomy and physiology, which is a main part of the course, and definitely important when considering exercise as a whole as well. But that might not be true. I've only wanted to use it for planning, I'm not sure, but That's why I had that pen and paper there as a part of the thumbnail. Is something that I always, I think, would want around me. And it's this, and these are the same reasons. That's the same reason why I've got the book, the same P book, and the same pen and paper in the part 2 thumbnail that I'll that will eventually be seen. I haven't yet uploaded that video. I'm right now just editing this one together, making the voiceover the day after, so that I didn't sacrifice my sleep tonight, or no, last night. I was on the screens anyway, so that didn't really work. But it definitely could have been worse if I was wanting to make this video then. But yeah, so let's talk about what I was actually reading, because I pick up the book more than once, and during the session, I was actually reading about this components of fitness. That's what the book calls it. And one thing I see when looking at people who look more experienced than me, who look more competent than me in, for example, calisthenics videos, not compilations, but workout videos, I see that they've got components of fitness that the book talks about mastered a lot more than I do. For example, it looks like they've got power, which is strength and a force that you can exert. Or sorry, let me try that again. Power is how quickly or speed you can exert force, like how powerful you can swing a golf club, or how powerful you could throw a ball when you're playing baseball, or something like that, or how powerful you could do a throw-in when you're playing football. That's what power is. They have that. Strength, they've got that. And control of the body, they've got that too. I thought that was classed as agility, but I would actually disagree with that, because I think after reading about agility more closely in the book, agility is more about how much you can control your body when changing direction, not how much you could control your body whilst doing exercises like these. So this is the time that I pick up the book and was reading about the last few components of fitness, and this was more about balance and coordination. And during this session and or during the afterthoughts of this session, I was thinking that maybe if I went from the last component of fitness backward, I might actually be able to make a lot of progress with exercise as a whole, and also combine the components of fitness that this book has, along with combining K Bogue's advice about how to make an effective training program. That's what he calls it. But to make it a lot more, or to go into more detail about what I'm talking about, I will actually find that again. I've just picked up my book now. Very convenient to do, because I purposely had it beside me alongside my personal training book. So as I was reading just then, when I picked up the book a few seconds ago, I was looking at the last few sections. So it's got, let's see, it says that there are 10 aspects of fitness, and the last 3 that they mention is coordination. This is the very last aspect of fitness that they talk about. Balance and agility. And I was thinking during this session, after picking up the book a short while ago now, that if I work on maybe my coordination, my balance, then that definitely helped me with being able to put more power and strength into my moves. Particularly coordination. I'm not struggling in terms of like falling over and stuff like that. When I think of balance, that's what I think of. But when I was doing the plank in the part 2, I think I could argue that I was finding it so difficult. It genuinely looks like I didn't have much of a balance, you could say, because of how much I was wobbling. But then again, to counter that, I could say that might not be to do with balance, but rather strength. Anyway, coordination might help me because, for example, with the arch push-ups, I don't know what I'm doing. I watched hybrid calisthenics. I watched his form when doing the arch push-ups, and it looked like the arm that he uses to push up with is extremely close to his side, whereas when I do it, I would just have my arm really just somewhat close enough to get down a little bit and then push up a little bit, but not completely by my side because I don't really know what I'm doing. Sorry. But yeah, the people that I see on YouTube, they definitely have got range of movement mastered, or at least so it looks like, range of movement, power and strength. But I say, if I don't have a coordination, if I don't have the coordination, then I don't think I can have either 3 of those other components of fitness. But other important ones for this sort of exercise, I say, are speed and muscular endurance. And then the other one's cardiovascular endurance, but I'm not sure if that matters all that much. You could argue and say, on one hand, it is, because according to the book, cardiovascular endurance is about getting energy using oxygen. And it's going to be way easier to exercise if you're doing it, if your body is going through aerobic respiration rather than anaerobic respiration. You tire out a lot more quickly through sprinting than you do going for like a slow jog, for example. So the state of how much you're putting in an effort, you could argue, could definitely be a big deal. Man. Anything else to say? I think I'll leave it at that for now and end it on this note. I'd always like to have some form of information around fitness or health that I could learn from around me 24/7, because having it around me is helping me not only just use my body during the exercises, but use my mind and build on what I already know. I'm doing that bit by bit, as you can tell through this voiceover, where I've learned a bit about the components of fitness through the lens of this CGP GCSE OCR book. That's the exam board, OCR. There's another thing that I wanted to talk about. Talking, that is it. I wanted to say that I think I talk way too much during the sessions. I mean, during the voiceover, I think that's fine, because I'd be reviewing what was going on, what was happening. Talking during voiceovers makes sense of what's going on. But during the sessions, although that does do the same thing, I think I talk too much during sessions I talk too much during sessions to the point where I could be exercising way more than I already am during the sessions. And I think I'm holding myself back through how much I speak in those when I'm just exercising. So I'll try and talk at least less, and then just make voiceovers instead, explaining what was going on and what I've learned. I think that might really help me with my workouts, because when I see those sorts of people who really do have strength in the calisthenics videos, for example, from That's Good Money, I've been watching them again recently. So shout out to them. They look like they do like proper, really challenging workouts, and it's not like just your typical your typical half-minute video, or like a calisthenics compilation where you're not really showing how much effort these people actually go through to do what they do and how difficult it truly is. It's fairly similar to my videos, and I think that's probably what I like about them, because I know my videos are honest, they show what I'm actually doing, and the That's Good Money channel does the same thing for what they've got going on over there. So I've been watching them recently, and during their sessions, although they do talk, it's about doing the reps and guidance for where they do the exercises. For example, where on the floor they'll do the push-ups, but it's not really about reviewing what's going on every single set. They explain what they're doing. They just get into it, and then if it's a really long session, like in 1,000 push-ups session, uncut, then of course it makes sense that you start to get more talkative as you start feeling more tired, because you've got less energy to put into the exercises, and talk is not such a physically strenuous activity compared to doing 1,000 pull-ups. So I'm wanting to try that out. It being talking less in the videos. Talking less during the exercise, and just see how it goes. And one last thing about That's Good Money, there's someone that I've seen on the channel called Master Shredder, and I think I like the idea of his training style, at least what he puts up there on YouTube on the That's Good Money channel, and on his personal channel. I think it's called Master Shredder, SHREDDA. And it seems like during just the one session, I wouldn't be surprised if he trains more than once a day though. He focuses like maybe less than an hour or more on just one thing. And in my mind, I'm thinking that if I were to use such a training style, there's no way I wouldn't make progress, especially if I'm talking less during the sessions, because you could only go so long without making progress if you're just focused on one thing for less than an hour or more worth of footage, meaning that if you create, for example, 45 minutes worth of footage, you might have been out for an hour or longer getting that footage and collecting all of the video footage that you need for the video, or for the final project. I mean, of course it'd be for the video. So I'm willing to try that out and just see how that goes, see how that might help, because I could, when I look back at the logs, I can see that I'm not really doing much in terms of how long I'm exercising for during these videos. I could be going for way longer, and talking less would put me in a position where I'm going to work more, well, probably anyway, because the talking doesn't disguise the fact that I'm not exercising anymore, because I wouldn't be talking. However, that's it. Just wee video. Setting the video. I think because I've run out of footage, I'll just maybe put a few pictures of what I was talking about in terms of aspect of fitness, make that easy to read. But for now, I'm done. That's it. That's the end of the video. And cheers to learning more, and cheers to exercising more efficiently, and cheers to taking care of my health more and more. As I learn more and more, you live and you learn, especially if you're on the path of health and fitness. Peace.